वो शेयर्स रीगेन कर रहे हैं।
Good afternoon, friends. It's a Friday afternoon, and we are back. Forefront of Future Frontiers, the medical webinar series. And we are very glad to inform you that we are starting the 6th series today. We have completed 5 series, and this is series number 6. And we are here today on episode number 27. This initiative, which has been started by the Scientific Society of Aarupadai Medical College, which is a constituent college of Vinayaka Mission Research Foundation, in the month of May, to keep the community updated about recent concepts and all that. And the unique USP of our program is that we take one topic for every series and we explore different aspects. So in that way, series 1 started with recent advances. Then we moved on to COVID and its impact. Then we talked about strategies to overcome COVID. Then we took a long time and explored research frontiers. We did 8 sessions in that. Then we moved on to leadership during COVID times and issues of public health importance. And now we are in series 6. The theme of this series is education, medical education concepts. So that is the theme. And we have with us a very eminent speaker, that is Professor Ashok Deorari. He is the HOD of Pediatrics from AIIMS, New Delhi. And I would request our Dean to welcome the gathering, following which Dr. Vishnu Bhatt will introduce the speaker. Over to you, Dr. Kotur.
Can't hear.
Yeah, I was muted by the host, I think. Our today participants as well, and we are, as already said, we are in the 27th episode, 27th event of this unique platform. Our Vinayaka Mission Research Foundation and Aarupadai Medical College has created about 6 months back, and I'll say that we recently celebrated Silver Jubilee of this platform, Future Frontiers, and now today is another milestone because our today's speaker is a very special person. I just googled out. He has got a multifaceted personality. Apart from being a pediatrician and neonatologist, he is a chairperson of the Skills Center of the Prestige Institutes of AIIMS. And of course, he's an ardent researcher, more than 250 publications. It was quite, and one more thing is, he has developed an app, a smart. And of course, his association. But we'll be introducing him in detail. But I was very excited to see his multifaceted personality, unique skills. That's why I said today we will be having one more milestone, because on this platform we'll be happy to many of the speakers from various continents, the scientists, researchers, then educators have shared this platform, and we have today another eminent esteemed personality, Dr. Ashok, on behalf of myself, on behalf of our university, on behalf of our Honorable Chancellor and Madam Chancellor. Sir, I invite you, and certainly, all the participants will be eager to know or share your expertise with us. Over to you, Dr. Vishnu Bhatt.
Good afternoon to everybody. Am I audible?
Yes.
So we welcome you, Dr. Ashok Deorari, on behalf of the Dean and Chancellor, Madam Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, and on the DM of University. It is my privilege to introduce Dr. Ashok, who is a close friend of me, and presently he is heading the Department of Pediatrics in All India Institute of Medical Sciences, which is one of the prestigious institutes in the country. He is also the president of National Neonatology Forum of India. So earlier he was the secretary, has done a lot of good job, and now as president he is doing still better job. And as you know, the neonatology unit in India Institute is a WHO center for training and research in newborn care. So they are also involved in training of people all over. And he's also chairman of the skill center at AMS. And
Kindly unmute Vishnu Bhatt.
I think the madam is muting me.
Sir, no, sir. Your mic.
So shall I start from the beginning or it's okay?
No, sir, you are at the
It's
WHO
okay.
Collaborating Center.
Yeah, it's a WHO collaborating center where they are training and research in newborn care. And he's also chairman of the skill center in AIMS. And you will know because there are a lot of work going on in All Institute. And also he was lead for WHO Southeast Asia Regional Organization. And he had several fellowships under WHO. And there's a lot of original research work and more than 250 publication, as our dean has said. And if I talk about that, then I think he will not have time for giving his talk. And he has done not only multiple research work, but he was doing this online transfer of knowledge and training of basic health work all over the country and Southeast Asia region. So online is not new to him in the sense he is doing for many years, and I think this Corona has added to the problem. And he has got a lot of experience in digital technology for training of basic health workers and DM and MD students. And he has got several awards and orations, and you name any oration, he would have given that. And I'm sure that he will enlighten us on this harnessing digital technology for education, which he has been doing for many years, as I said. I'm sure that we will all get a lot of inputs from him because the day is for now digital technology because offline classes have become less. So, welcome you, Dr. Ashok, and back to Dr. Mahalakshmi.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir, for that crisp and nice introduction. Before we move on to Dr. Ashok, I just have some few announcements. So one is that we are going live on YouTube, this program. And the second announcement is I would request all the participants to keep themselves muted and so that the audio quality is good for everyone. The third announcement is we are recording this program for future academic use. Over to you, Dr. Ashok. The session is yours.
Give me the permission for sharing the screen. Yeah. 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 Okay. So, good afternoon, and thank you, Dean Sir, Dr. Mahalakshmi, and Dr. Vishnu Bhatt, for asking me to give a webinar on harnessing digital technology for medical education. My talk is sharing with the younger generation that how we have gone about in the last 12-13 years harnessing digital technology for pre-service and in-service education, not only in India, but in entire Southeast Asia region, and it includes many of the countries in Asia. I have no conflict of interest for making this presentation in front of you. And as rightly said, I am heading the Skills, E-Learning and Telemedicine Center at AIIMS, New Delhi for the last now more than 3 years. And we have a core of 70 faculty members from various disciplines who contribute for running of the said facility. So the presentation which I'm going to share with you is not my work alone. It is a work of multiple people from AIIMS, said facility, and from National Unital Forum of India, who have contributed in development of various contents which are used for teaching, education, and learning of healthcare professionals. This all started 12 years ago while I was exposed to an online teaching learning program, which was in inception stage, funded by Leonardo da Vinci Foundation, which was run from Southampton University, UK, with the lead person, Mike Hall. And it was called as Neonatal Online Training and Education Program. This program had capsule courses for high-end neonatology, but most of the courses which they developed, they used to cost a huge amount of money, 350 to 400 euros for a course which used to be for a period of 3 months. At that point of time, I had the fortunate luck of getting exposed as a faculty on the NOTE program and get younger 24 faculty members and younger DM students from AIIMS and PGI and from India getting exposed to how e-learning is done. At one point of time, while I explored the possibility of doing a joint collaborative work for spreading education on the Moodle platform which the NOTE people had used, I was told by the Britishers that this platform is meant for high-end neonatology. The problems in India are different. You will have to sort your problem on your own. And then what I did was, with the 24 faculty members and junior DM students, we created our own online neonatal training orientation program in India, which is called as ontopin.org. And through that, we were able to keep on refining and spread to nurses, doctors by running multiple certificate courses on the Moodle platform. So I am going to share something which may inspire younger generation that India need to innovate, find out a way how we can reach more and more healthcare professionals, especially our undergraduate and postgraduate medical students, and then even also reach peripheral health workers who are working in the SNCUs and district hospital and medical colleges. So I am going to share my presentation in these 5 bullet points. Not very long presentation. First is, what are the challenges in medical education? What is the current approach at this point of time, which is the pandemic time with COVID? And what is e-learning plus virtual, which is a blended and a hybrid learning? And COVID pandemic, how we are facing and doing education of in-service students at AIIMS, New Delhi, and what is going to be the future of medical education. We all know that India is a vast country. We have unique challenges. The number of students which we have to educate, nursing and medical student, is huge, big. And we lack trained, experienced teachers who can deliver contents in a very high quality in a uniform, standardized form of education. So we have limited number of faculty members. And then we need to find out ways how we can disseminate education quickly, far and wide. And then education, I believe, is not meant for raising revenues or money. It is meant for educating the mind so that people become knowledgeable, they become skillful, and use it for helping the patients and the families whom they treat. Now, at this time of pandemic, I'll share with you at AIIMS how we are teaching our postgraduate and undergraduate medical student. We all know current approach at this point of time. All of us, like me, are doing webinars. Webinars, we think, are going to be the way forward for education of people. But to me, it looks like they may have a wide reach. It has a short contact time. It is cheaper. There is no assessment in majority of the webinars which we do. And the target audience are professionals in practice and in institutions. And if you look at the impact of webinars, it is short lasting. It addresses maybe many of the frequently asked questions. On the other hand, if we look at e-learning as a platform for educating people, it again has a wide reach. It has a longer contact time. The cost is high because you have to create e-contents for education of the students. And then assessment can be inbuilt in the form of contents which can be assessed with the help of multiple choice questions, or it can be small group which can be made and students can be assessed there. And the target for this is most of the time students in service in government hospitals. It improves the knowledge and the skills of healthcare professionals, and we publish that in one of the publications. So we created this platform, which is called as the Online Neonatal Training Orientation Program, -in.org. 1 decade of experience on this e-learning platform. We have trained thousands of nurses and doctors all across South CRO region and Asia region. It is on Moodle platform, which is a mentored learning in cohorts. 1 or 2 teachers mentor 15 to 16 students. It is asynchronous because you provide high quality contents for students to read. They do the discussion forum. They write down the discussion. You can have case studies which can be provided. And the teachers, 2 facilitators, run that particular cohort. At one point of time, you may have 400 to 500 students who can be logged in. There is online assessment which is inbuilt. And then you can inbuilt into it synchronous chats, which is like a SMS type of chat, which is inbuilt into the Moodle platform for the frequently asked questions which the students take every week. And you can involve majority of the teacher so as to motivate them that they are engaged on the learning platform. And at the end of 6 weeks or 3 months, a certificate can be given to the students who score good marks, who participate in discussion forums, who do case studies well, so you can identify and give them the student. So e-learning, we feel, is a supplement, a value addition to teaching learning program of the student. It cannot replace the bedside teaching learning, which the students have to learn while they are posted in the wards. I would share with you a very interesting concept, which is a forgetting curve. And this is based on what has been done with leaders who do business in US. They spend nearly $300 billion in training and coaching the leaders. But what they found was whatever they were teaching those business leaders, at the end of like 6 days, 1 week, the decay of knowledge and skill occurred in nearly 75% of the people. That means unless there is reinforcement, re-practice, and debriefing which is done of what you have taught people, people forget that. And that is also very true in medical education. If we just give lectures to the students, they don't practice that in the ward, they don't see another patient, and they don't reflect on what they have done good while they are managing a patient, and there is a feedback which is given by the students, it is no learning which will happen to a medical student also. So to us, it is very clear that learning is continuous, lifelong, especially for medical students. I, at this age of nearly more than 64 years, I still keep on learning from the students who attend all these courses. And learning has to be tailor-made for what the students will use immediately, rather than you are asking them to use that maybe after 2 weeks or 4 weeks, because the forgetting curve is going to be there. The students must practice whatever they learn, then they must reflect on what went right, wrong, reapply that, and make an improvement by doing a debriefing, which has the teachers have to do. And then in the next time, again, they have to reapply. And then this is a complete feedback which keeps on. And this cycle has to be repeated time and again. Our education cannot be done by webinars and lectures unless we make them practice, unless they repeat those things, what they learn in knowledge and skill, and then try to practice, and we do debriefing of that. Unless we do that, or if they have managed a case in the ward, they do self-reflection, and the teachers give a feedback which they will imbibe and then improve for the next case while they manage in the hospital. So I am going to share with you a few models which we have used for e-learning. It is not only online learning which we do. We try to mix e-learning, which is online, with virtual learning, which is in the form of your webinars, focus topics with question answers which are taken, but the students must do first the online part. So it is a blended type and a hybrid type of learning. The term we'll use, hybrid e-learning, is that you give online content to the student, and then the students are taught the skill face-to-face in some skill lab or in the wards. But at this time of COVID, things are difficult. And then we are still doing it, taking all COVID appropriate behavior. And then I'll share with you in COVID pandemic time how AIIMS is doing this. So as I said, this is not a work which is of 6 months or four years. It is a journey which we have taken. And it is not a journey myself. It is all my team at WHOCC, my colleagues, my faculty members, and all the experts in the country who have contributed for creating peer-reviewed, high-quality, evidence-based contents for teaching and learning. At this point, I'll share with you two simple models which we have used. One is a model which we have used for point-of-care quality improvement for teaching the healthcare professionals, especially the doctors and nurses. We strongly believe that just doing capacity building and training and even making skillful people does not lead to better patient care. People who are trained must also learn the methodology of quality improvement, the science of quality improvement. At this point of time, science of quality improvement is taught by 7 or 8 different institutions. It may be IHI from Cambridge, Boston. It may be a Six Sigma model from Japan. It may be American Academy of Pediatrics model of quality improvement, or a Canadian model of EPIC, or an Australian or New Zealand model of ISQA. But what we have come out at in India is a very simplified approach, science of quality improvement, which is called as the POCI, point of care quality improvement approach. And if you log on to this website, www.poki.org, you will be able to get the guide, facilitator guide, all the webinars which are related to learning. And the best part is there is an app on POCI. If you click this app, it will take you to a site, and then you have to work on the app for at least 3 hours to generate a certificate, because it is going to teach you all 4 simplified steps of quality improvement. And at the end, you will be assessed. If you are not passing through, it will ask you to retake it, and then you get a certificate out of it. We use this POCI model in the state of Telangana with the help of UNICEF people, and Dr. Shri Krishna and Sanjeev Upadhyay were instrumental, that they learned this online, but they practiced in the unit, and then using a Zoom platform, they were able to share whatever quality improvement work they were doing in the unit. So for younger generation, I would say they must have an eye on whatever they are doing. They need to find out what are the things and the problems which are there in the system. It may be patient safety issue, or it may be some issue of delayed treatment, or the patient has to spend a lot of time from getting to the operation theater. How do they improve the processes of care so that the patient care becomes better? If there is hospital acquired infections which are more in number, how can we decrease those by improving the processes of improvement? And this is what quality improvement methodology teaches you. The second model which I'm sharing with you is a e-learning web platform which we have for teaching students the best practices for management of preterm babies. We want our preterm babies who are sick should not be harmed. They should not become blind due to retinopathy or prematurity. They should not have infection. We must do the best practices. So on this platform, we have 10 modules which relate to best practices for management of preterm babies. And the best part is it is got small webinars which are 65 in number or dispersed over 10 modules, short videos which are for a duration of 3 to 4 minutes, 130 of them. And then there is a method for doing a examination with the OSCE. If you can do OSCE at your place after they are exposed and they get a certificate on this www.pretermeliminating.rop.org. We have published the impact of this web-based learning tool using along with quality improvement. And then we found that in the SNCUs, in the state of Madhya Pradesh, we published in seminars in perinatology that each of the SNCU was able to save oxygen by using rational use of oxygen in the babies who are sick, who are getting admitted in the SNCUs. By not using hood, using nasal prong, and using pulse oximeter. And we found that each SNCU was able to save nearly 75,000 rupees per year because the use of oxygen decreased. Even the use of antibiotics declined by 40 to 50% in 6 of the SNCUs. It is not only in MP we have done. We have shown the same model. It works in Shimoga Medical College by remote mentoring with Dr. Professor Patil. They were able to reduce the use of antibiotics by nearly 50% and the use of oxygen. And then kangaroo mother care was increased duration. And then babies were getting mother's EBM on day 5. Most of the babies were getting. So we were able to do all this remotely also with medical colleges. And then we spread this network in the entire India, creating a lot of leaders in different states who started doing preterm teaching along with skill-based teaching learning in their institutions. I am happy that Mahalakshmi liked that we have apps on mobile phone. We have apps on mobile phone, and I'm so happy to share with you that this is a work which is done selflessly, free of cost by these younger people. This is Rishiketan Sethi. He is in now Florida doing his surgery fellowship. In 3rd year, he created in 2014 our first app on iOS system, which was standard treatment protocol. So second person is Shiju Chakuch from Kerala. He was a final intern student and he created an Android app on AIMS WHO standard treatment protocol. And Mayank is DM student who kept that app alive by coming out with a new version. And then this is a girl, she was only a 11th class student. She came and worked with us voluntarily. And then she created this preterm website, which you were able to see, and a preterm care app, which you can download on your mobile phone. If you type preterm care on the iOS phone or WHO AIMS PTC on your Android phone. She again moved to US for her further studies in Yale University. And here is another boy, Samit. He came and did his summer fellowship with us. from US, and he created an app for nurses, which is again available on Android and iOS system. And we found these apps were very useful. We were able to spread it fast without any cost. Within 15 minutes, you can come out with a new revision, and entire knowledge check can be there. There can be MCQs on the app, case management, which is there, and the revised version are very easy to be loaded. It is low cost, quick dissemination, quick recap of skill or procedure, and they work like point of care tool as a confidence for the student. I may share with you at this point that it was the UG students who came to me in 2013. They said, sir, you, me, and Professor Vinod Paul teach us neonatology so well, but once we are posted in the villages, we don't know what you have taught. If we see a baby who is yellow or who is not breathing or blue, why don't you create all your learning onto an app on mobile phone? So it was a need of the student, and we engaged the students in making those apps on mobile phone and then spread them quickly. And then with American Academy of Pediatrics for Helping Babies Survive program for essential care, small baby, we did a MOU with them. No one will make money out of it. We converted whole of their teaching learning program into an app which is on Android phone and a iOS system. So as I said, apps are really good, and we showed in your state, in Tamil Nadu, that while we were educating the SNCU's doctor, we were able to build their skills and the knowledge of healthcare professionals by using these apps on mobile phone and teaching them. And I had a visit in IOG Chennai 3 times to teach the SNCU's doctor how to use the app and get updated on the skill. And we assessed their OSCE and looked at the skill and the knowledge, which we again published in literature. So it is all published work, and this is now COVID time. New challenges with COVID. How do you do face-to-face teaching learning for the students? So we had a huge big task at AIIMS New Delhi of training healthcare professionals at AIIMS. Our director asked me with my team of faculty that we have to do something for online education for healthcare professionals so that we train more people. And then for the skill learning for donning, doffing, and other things they learn in the COVID care area. But they must be exposed to 4 hours of online learning platform, generate a certificate before the skill learning of donning, doffing is done. So we created that, and with the help of, we used WhatsApp group for the hospital attendants who were not very proficient in using the web platform for online learning. So we have a Saral platform at AIIMS for undergraduate and medical students. And if you get to the Saral platform with your unique password and login details, you can see this is a old data I'm sharing. More than 5,000 students, before they were posted in the COVID areas, they were exposed to the basic course on donning, doffing, how to wear a mask, biomedical waste, hand washing, and then if they were in advanced course, how to manage a patient with COVID, how do you take the samples. All the contents were created by our SET facility. We created them in bilingual language and then able to share it with majority of the students before they got posted in the COVID area, before they were taught there, after they had taken the certificate. Now at AIIMS, we have been doing for the last 3 years experiential simulation-based teaching learning using e-platform for undergraduate and medical students. And what normally we do is, it is a blended learning. There are learning objectives which are there, SOPs, students are given the audiovisual content in the form of webinar. They have to take the MCQ, they have to generate a certificate. After that only they will come to the skill lab, and in small groups, they are taught the various things. This is done for the undergraduate medical students in small batches by the faculty members, which I said are 18 number, who are dedicated, who created all these contents which are available. And very soon we are going to come out with an app of this, which is going to be freely available for all medical colleges, so that online content is on the app rather than you have to log on to the web platform and then the skill learning can be done in the skill center. We have not stopped at this point of time. In COVID times, by taking appropriate precautions, still we are doing the BLS training for the MBBS students. We are teaching intubation for COVID ICUs. And then if, for a mother and newborn, how the resuscitation is being done is being taught. So CPR, all those things still are continuing in small groups, but we are taking all precautions while the students are coming to COVID lab. Now, over next 4-5 minutes, I'll share, because it is my duty, because Vishnu knows I'm the president of National Neonatal Forum of India. In the last 5-6 months, what we have done is we shifted and started doing these type of things for the National Neonatal Forum of India. And you can see a large number of courses which have been done by our leaders in neonatology in the country using the web platform. Research methodology workshop by Saurabh Datta from PGI Chandigarh. Basic preterm care, August. Basic preterm care, second course in October. COVID e-course in May and June. Basic eco course, which is still ongoing. And then we came out with a nursing e-course, which is training more than 4,000 nurses at this point of time with 70 faculty members from the country. This is pay and learn for the NNF. And then we had 11 best teachers, small groups, breakout sessions, paper discussion, question answer, asynchronous chat with the teachers, and then highly appreciated course. It was spread over 20 hours, over 3 weeks, research methodology course, done by the best teachers in the country who do neonatology. And then we came out with online education supplemented by virtual. Again, a course certificate is given at the end. By NNF, 2 courses were done. They were spread over 3 weekends. Each weekend, 3 hours on Saturday, 4 hours on Sunday, and nearly 40 speakers and moderators. Super. They supplemented online learning, which was done. Students have to do first online learning and then come to focus teaching learning on all the 10 modules which were there. So we had a tremendous response on this. And again, it was a pay and learn. At this point of time, we are doing a course for the nurses in the country, and 70 teachers are teaching that. It is an NNF e-course, and it is using weekly standardized contents, which are of preterm care module. We have 70 facilitators, as I said, more than 4,100 nurses enrolled. It is on a Telegram, and the teachers every week are assigned to interact with the students, answer their questions. And then every week, for 40 minutes, they interact virtually also that week's teacher with the participant through the YouTube to take any further questions which they may have regarding that question answer session which is going on. So to me, it looks like as we move from Moodle platform e-learning, time is moving now. It is not only the apps which will make a difference. We have to have a mix and match. We have to find out context where we are working, what will work with us. We have to also make sure that we have good bandwidth. We have good internet connection. People are savvy about it. We learned over time that if you do anything which is free of cost, it is not sustained. So we started charging small amount of money, not at AIMS. AIMS is all free, what we do. For nurses also, it is all free. But for NNF, we started charging money. If you charge some money, then people are engaged and they sustain through that 20 hours virtual learning which happens. Just now we are doing a course on eco-learning, which is point of care eco-learning, which is happening. So it looks like in future times, we will have to have mentored blended learning for UGs and PGs with skill learning courses for NRP and Pediatrics advanced life support. We will have to take COVID precautions. Online small group teaching is possible using a Microsoft team. Collaborative learning courses with virtual interaction are all possible. We have shown it. We have done it. And then we have a POCI model with research methodology. And then in times at this point, we are teaching people augmented and virtual reality and learn the skills for resuscitation, point of care, ultrasound, echo. We have a machine which is 1.6 crore. The UGs and the PGs learn doing echo and ultrasound on those machines. And then times are going to come, then we will have 3-dimensional classroom teaching for students, in addition to flipped class teaching, which is already happening on the Saral platform at AIMS. So I would summarize at the end that digital learning tools may be supplement. They are not replacement to actual bedside teaching learning. People should not think that they can manage patients using a WhatsApp or a mobile phone, because healthcare, especially for patient care, is very complex. You need to communicate. You need to win the confidence of the family. You need to, your conviction, your confidence has to be given to the patients, the attendant, then only they get well. So it is not only WhatsApp or a mobile phone or a digital learning which is going to sort out our problems. It can be additional add-on value, but it is good for spreading best evidence-based practice quickly if you want to do. Our apps on mobile phone, I may share, more than 100 countries have downloaded them. More than 45,000 downloads of apps, which are 8 in number, have occurred globally, and all those are free. People are using for self-learning and point of care. So times are moving. We are moving from books to DVD and web content, and now smartphone teaching learning. But as I said, healthcare is complex. Mindfulness of healthcare has to be there. Patient safety has to be there. And we need to keep that in mind. All these things will be add on to our teaching learning. So it is all doable, online courses, blended learning, flip class, but it needs resources, it needs time, it needs commitment from the faculty member. It needs the heart of people who want to spread education to all others without looking at what advantage or what money or things reward they will get. So if people are big-hearted, they want to spread education, I would say this is the best way. And then challenges in Indian context have to be fixed. We used to have a lot of problem earlier with 3G, we moved to 4G, and now the bandwidth is now much faster. So we have seen in the last 12, 13 years how we moved using a Moodle platform, that earlier we used to give all the content on the USB to the students by courier. Now at this point of time, it is all provided on the website, online, which they can download at this point. Fixable, we need to find out the innovative solutions and innovative ideas also, what the younger mind wants, the younger students want. Teachers can't decide that this is the need of the people. The students need to tell us what they want, what they are comfortable with, but we have to also tell them that it has to be like debriefing, which will happen, they will improve, and then it is patient care, which is important, rather than spending hours together on WhatsApp and exchanging all the things on WhatsApp. So education research is much needed in the country to show the impact of virtual and blended learning. And I'm very sure the younger generation will do research on that. My team is already working, we have published, and we will keep on moving that direction. So at this point, I would like to put my acknowledgements to my director, my set facility team members who are 80 in number, facilitators of National Neonatal Forum of online and blended learning courses. All the contents which are created is created by the experts, reviewers, and these are all evidence-based. And we were able to get the money from WHO CRO, Queen Elizabeth Diamond Jubilee Trust from UK, and then USAID Assist and USAID, different branches were able to give us money for creating the content. And then my colleagues at WHOCC, AIMS, who said, sir, this is the best way you can reach more and more people in the country. So everyone joined in this effort, and we kept on keeping people motivated. We give ownership to people who join in this journey. We tell people there is no money which is going to be given to you. It is a work which you has to come from your heart. Your soul has to be there, because mind and heart will not, if your soul is there and you want to reach more and more people for betterment of humanity, I think this is the best way to reach more people. Thank you so much. And I think I took 35, 36 minutes. I am done, and I would be more than happy to take questions from the audience. Yeah. Do follow me on Twitter. My Twitter account is Ashok AIIMS, Twitter. And all my tweets, if you will see, none of them is political tweet. All tweets are educational tweets. All tweets are only related to education of healthcare professionals in the country, in the region, and globally. Thank you so much.
So thank you very much.
Can't hear you.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for that wonderful lecture. Talk Dr. Bhatt, that is difficulties to share. I became speechless when I really heard this, how you have taken
Not audible.
the entire. Hello? Hello? Am I audible?
Yeah. Yes.
I was just trying to tell that it is how difficult it is to shut me up sometimes. I keep talking and your speech really left us speechless, sir. That's what I would say. And it was very nice to see, like, it was very impressive and motivating to see how you have taken with a small team and then you have taken the concepts, you have walked them through the entire process. You kept them motivated with no monetary benefit. That is what you said, that you had the team works for its own self-actualization. I think that's the word they keep using in management parlance. And most important of all, actually now only the CBME is coming and everybody is talking about outcome-based education and how education needs to be linked towards the needs of the society, which should determine what is the competencies, which should determine what we should teach the students. But I think you have really put it into practice and it was very impressive to see how this is done. And having said all that, there are a lot of questions which have come in the chat box as well as in the registration. Can I take the question sessions with you now, sir?
Sure. I'm ready.
Okay.
If I know the answer, I'll give it. Okay.
Okay, sir. The first question is from Dr. Anupama. She is working in MP Shah Medical College, Jamnagar. She wants to know, how do you make the sessions interactive in your online training programs? So that's the question.
Yeah. So what we do is, there are two ways you can make on the Moodle platform interactive. Number one is, most of it is asynchronous, which is provided on the online platform. And then you can have assessment, which is inbuilt. But then synchronous is the chats. So you tell and fix up a time, which is shown on the your login Moodle platform, that this chat will happen during this time for 1 hour. So many teachers will be there. And then it is a direct interactive session without any video. So it is like a chat session which happens. 8 or 10 teachers will be there. All the students who are enrolled will be logging in, asking questions related to that particular week which has been taught. And then finally that chat link is put on the Moodle platform itself for the students who are not able to listen to that interaction. Second way is, you can have a Zoom session or a WebEx session, which can be a virtual session, to make it interactive for people. So you can make it interactive while using your Moodle platform. So it can be either through visual or it can be through the chat session. But at this point of time, there are a lot of softwares which are there. The one which I said, like Microsoft Teams, it has small group classroom teaching, which can be done by a few students, 1 or 2 teachers. Take that. They can give small work also, assess the student or make a paper presentation and then come to the main group. So there are a lot of now new platforms which are there in which you can do a small group teaching, which can be interactive, like a Microsoft Team, which we have been using for research methods workshop. I hope it answers the question. For Moodle, we have 2 ways. For the Microsoft Team, you can do a small group teaching.
Yeah. It answered very well. So we have also been using Zoom platforms extensively and we use the breakout rooms in the Zoom.
Yeah, you can use breakout. In the business model of Zoom, if you have spent more money, you can have breakout rooms, which can be 5 in number or more in number, based on how much money you have given.
we can have up to 100 rooms in our Zoom platform.
Yeah. So you can have breakup rooms also. Yeah.
So Dr. Christina Shetty has put up a question. she says that there are so many apps available. How do we choose, and how do we say that which of those apps are very effective? Is
So,
there any criteria checklist? What is
so I tell you, my diagram of circle which you saw, it has to be need based. Need based, you want to learn something where you are posted, you want to learn essential newborn care, or you want to learn helping babies breathe or resuscitation, then use that app. Now, which app is good? You will have to read the reviews of the app. Read the reviews. There are a large number of reviews which are there. I keep on getting large number of reviews on all the apps. It gets a score also. Just like you do online shopping, you don't buy your sari just by looking sari on the online platform. You look at the reviews of people, then only you buy it. So look at the app's review, look at the content, and then use it, whatever you want to use. I gave you that we have few apps which are wonderful apps. You can have a look on that. I'm not selling it. It is all free of cost. You read the review and use it.
Okay. That is very nice. There's one more question from Dr. Singh.
So I would, Madam, I would urge all the people who are attending this webinar, because for the last 4 or 5 years, I am a very strong propellant of quality improvement and patient safety. And the model which we have developed in India, which is taken by Government of India in the Lakshya program, it is going to get into facility-based newborn care also. It is point of care quality improvement. So there is an app on the website which I showed it to you. Spend 3 hours, enjoy. It will teach you management principles of how do you do process improvement and how do you measure your improvement which happens, how do you make the run chart and a control chart and then sustain that in the system. Okay, so that app is a wonderful app, free, use it.
Okay, sir, today I am enrolling in www.pocqi.org. So that's what I think we'll do today. And we'll motivate our PGs also to do.
And send me the feedback. If you get stuck, send me the feedback.
Yes. Okay. The next question is from Dr. Singaravelu, professor at Vinayaka Missions College, Karaikal. Sir, he has asked a question of, because many of your teaching models are to improve the clinical acumen and point of care bedside thing. So his question is, how will digital technology improve the clinical acumen in UG teaching or in teaching?
So my friend Veedu is very famous in South India, Indian Academy of Pediatrics, local South Zone leader. He's my friend. So Veedu, for UG education, it has to be a blended approach. Blended is you provide the content online, you do the MCQs online, you interact with the student, and they come to the skill lab, as I showed you in the skill lab, for learning the skill after they have generated the certificate. It has to be a blended teaching learning which has to happen. You can't teach a lot of skills to healthcare professionals using only app and videos, because it has to be practiced and there has to be a feedback given and debriefing which has to be done for the healthcare professionals. So I hope Veedu will send me WhatsApp message also. My answer is it has to be a blended teaching learning which has to be done.
Thank you, sir. Then Dr. Philip, I think it is slightly related to the previous one. He wants to know, how do we teach humanism or affective domain? Is it possible to induce?
So I think in our skill lab, very soon we are going to now even teach people how do you have empathetic behavior for a patient who is very sick? How do you teach communication skill by doing role plays and stuff? So we are going to open that up. It is all possible in the skill lab. You can teach that also in the skill lab for the students. It's all possible.
Okay. Sir, there is one suggestion from Dr. Kokila Selvaraj. She said that if you can share the link to download all the apps you were talking about, if you give it to me, I'll pass it on to all the participants of this webinar.
I think people should just Google my name. You will have all the apps which are there. Just download on your Android phones. It's all free. But I can send it to you. No problem. We'll send it to you.
Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Then one last question. Sir wanted to speak something, but his mic again is gone off. Sir, when you actually started this, you might have had a lot of resistance to do, and it might have taken some time for people to adapt. Can you share some experiences on how you overcome these hurdles?
So see, 12 years ago, as I said, while we wanted to do a MOU with the UK people, Southampton University, I said, we need something which will be lower down version rather than teaching very high-end neonatology, which is tertiary care or quaternary care for our people. They said, your problem, Ashok, you will have to sort it out. And see, what I did was, this is 12 years ago, they made me faculty. They gave me administrator right of the Moodle platform, which was funded by Leonardo da Vinci Foundation because they wanted to just start that project at that point of time. I learned the nitty-gritty of how to create Moodle platform on my own. You understand? And I created Moodle platform, but downloading, which is free open source on my computer itself. And then I took a help of one of my DM student who was exposed to the course, Deepak Chawla from PGI Chandigarh. So both of us created Moodle on our laptops. And then we started working on that. Then we hired one girl who was computer scientist, but she was not able to help us. But we learned everything on our own and then hired one vendor through the WHO money and then created on our own. And then started creating all the contents. And initially, as I said, speed of 4G, 3G used to be a barrier. A lot of people were not exposed to using the platform, especially the nurses. We published this in 2011 in one of the journals that nurses were not proficient in using the website also. So we had to train people. We had to train people by making small podcasts and webinars on how do you log in with the password, how do you scroll and all those. So we used to create that material with people and share with that. And the content, because it used to be heavy, we used to give a USB, small USB, 4 GB, all the videos, everything content is there on the, so that they put that on the computer. So the same was used in the SNCUs. And then gradually we kept on learning. And then we found our, like in a MOOC program or EDX on online learning, a lot of people log in, but the dwindling rate is 85% of the people you will lose over 6 weeks, 8 weeks. So what we started doing was, we said, we'll give a certificate. We will start charging small amount of money, which did not come to us, but to the local teachers who were able to generate their computer resources, broadband, USB and stuff. No money came to us. So they were able to, so we put small amount of money so that people are hooked to that 6 weeks or 3 months program. Okay. So a lot of challenges, we kept on learning. I'm going to write a book on that. Maybe it will be educative for people. That if you have perseverance, you believe yourself, what you are doing, and it is going to do what, I think you can reach that path. And the younger people who have all joined here today, all junior resident, should take a lead out of it. I showed you 11th class student and 12th class student who have done a wonderful work. One of them met Bill Gates while he and his wife visited India in 2014 in September. I got an appointment for them because they were making the app. So they met Bill Gates and his wife discussing about the app on mobile phone, which is made by that UG student. Okay. I could not go there, but the boys went to the Moria Hotel to meet them because they got the appointment, you know. So that was see, you have to motivate people. You have to give incentive. All the boys who worked with me, the first thing I used to ask, you want to do this for me? You are not going to get any single penny out of me. Why do you want to do it? I used to call them on Sunday to my office at 10 o'clock just to talk to them, to see their commitment, what they are going to do. And then one of the fellow tells me, sir, you have taught my father, he's in Ludhiana, a pediatrician. He says, कि Dr. Deorari जो बोलता है वो तो करना ही है. So that fellow did that work like that. Okay. So you have to find right people. You have to make it clear why they are doing it, what purpose it will, and all the credit will be theirs. It is their baby for lifelong, not my baby. It is their baby. And then they will nurture it as the new revisions will come. So we kept on moving.
Yeah, Professor Ashok.
Yes, sir.
Before I ask what I wanted to ask you, let me express my feelings. You know, it was a unique experience. Every 1 minute of your 36 minutes discourse was full of your personal experience and reflects what with the dedication and commitment a person can do. That's and certainly our platform has been still more elevated to got a credibility. Now, what I want to ask you is, we have been doing for our entire life of for on the traditional teaching or learning on a physical platform. Now, with the COVID crisis coming into a lot of, I use the word metamorphosis took place amongst the teachers in a very accelerated manner. Can you just give your comments whether this online teaching learning, teaching by the teachers, learning by the students, is full teaching learning? What's your
yes, sir. So I would say students love now online learning. If they are able to do on their mobile phone, they love it. But only message we have to tell them is they cannot manage the patient just with their mobile phone or WhatsApp. It has to be actual patient experience which has to be there. Even whatever they learn in the skill lab has to be practiced on the patient. Real patient is different as compared to what they learn in the skill lab or on online platform. So we have to make that clear. It is all value addition to their teaching learning process which happens, but they love it, sir. Our UG students love now flip class teaching. They don't want lectures to be done in the class now. So they want now flip class teaching which has to be done. And they want to integrate this, that whatever we are teaching, it should happen what they learn while they are getting posted in the clinical department. So they think if we teach something too early, they will forget it. So it has to be linked to the posting while they will be posted in the ward. Okay, so we are trying to link now teaching learning, which is flip class, with their ward posting. And before they do that, even come to skill lab. And we have a structured program which is made for various semesters, what skills will be taught in what semester. So I think students love it. Sir, students love it.
Sir, my question remains unanswered. Compared to the physical of learning, it
is stressful. More stressful. It is stressful for the teachers, not for the students, I would say. Because the teachers have to create content. They have to spend time. They are not used to it. I find a lot of teachers have computers, my age people, they never open the computer. They are not able to use it also. So I think it is stressful to the senior teachers, not for younger faculty members and the students.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Bhatt, you like to say something? Dr. Vishnu Bhatt.
Yeah, it was a very interesting talk as usual. I have listened to him many times, so it's very nice and his experience was good. I wanted to ask you one thing, that you are certifying these basic health workers. Are you certifying after our online and virtual classes, or somebody has to do a follow-up and live demonstration, and after that we give certification?
So it has to be a mix-up. You teach online, and then they have a skill learning which is assessed by OSCE in the institution. Then only they get the certificate. You are right, Vishnu.
Any follow-up on this, how efficient they are on this training, or it is only a CME type of continuing medical education type of?
No. I think you need to look at one of the studies which we published. It showed even knowledge and skills of people improved. We have submitted another publication which is now in BMC Pediatrics. Dr. Annu has put that. So it will answer that question. It builds the skill of people, also knowledge also of people.
Can I ask you a question, sir?
Yes, sir.
This is like previously the dictum or the principle used to be see one, do one, and teach one. What is its role in the current scenario of changing paradigms in all walks of life?
So I think those things which are going on for years together, I also learned the same way. You see, teach and learn. So that cycle has to still, we have to believe that And as I have been telling time and again, digital tools and digital technology may be value addition. It may not replace what you are saying. You have to see and treat and learn and debrief. I agree, sir, but I don't think we can make healthcare professionals without seeing the patients in the hospital using technology. Even if we have virtual reality and augmented reality, still people have to get to the wards, see the patient, interact with the family, talk, do counseling, communication, behavior, empathetic behavior for a sick patient. So those things have to be there still.
The ultimate proof of pudding is by eating. They have to be able to communicate to the patients and the relatives and manage in the real life scenario.
Yeah. So Dr. Phillips, that is true. So unless the healthcare professionals are confident, they have managed that condition, their counseling skills are going to be poor, communication is going to be poor. The family also can see from the face how confident this doctor is. If the doctor says, I'm going to do like appendectomy on you, but if he is sweating at that point of time, he is not a good surgeon, people can make that out. You are right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was a very nicely put answers. The only thing is, sometimes, sir, when we have to introduce engineering the regular processes which go on in the institute.
Very difficult.
Things. Somebody told me very clearly, don't try to be sorry, when you are trying to do change, be the catalyst and don't be the substrate. So, but also I feel that certain times we need to ensure, we need to show by example or lead by example. So that very inspiring personally, the way you shared now, so that you said that this is what is going to do and this is how I went about doing it.
Yeah. So Madam,
I was talking about SOMO.
Yeah. So I may tell you at this point of time, in the skill lab, we have a wet skill lab where the surgeons learn all the skills on cadavers, they learn on models, and they are practicing all those things. And we have dedicated surgeons who are ready to teach those skills hands-on to the PG students before they start operating in the ward. Same we have in ophthalmology. We have a skill lab in which they will operate on goat's eye using the microscopes and stuff before they go and operate on the patient. Same is dry skill lab. Skills have to be learned by the interns and the final year student before they go and start working and doing intubation or CPR and stuff like that. So I think whatever we are doing is for making sure that healthcare professionals are confident, they are better competent, and then they will be able to have even safety of the patient in mind while they are managing the patient. So this is a mix up of, but whatever we are teaching in the skill lab, people have to do that first online, go through it, take the exam, generate a certificate. Otherwise, the faculty will not teach that person.
Thank you, sir. So you have showed us how education can be transformed digitally by changing the educational process. You have developed a lot of interesting models for us to look at. You have changed the way in which the domains of learning are normally defined. You have brought in a blended element. And I think you have shown us how the organizational and cultural change can also be done through this thing, like what the old age saging versus what we need to do. So these are the things, I think, the takeaways from this particular talk, what we will take it. I hope all the participants will take it forward. And as you said, a lot of our interesting young PGs and final year students who have been listening to it will be inspired by your topic and will be motivated to take up further things in this. So with this talk, I thank you very much on behalf of the Scientific Society, Aarupadai Veedu Medical College. And
thank you so much. Thank you, Vishnu. And thank you, Dean, sir. Wonderful to see you. And I have visited now Tamil Nadu also, sitting here in my facility. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You must come to Puducherry now.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, madam.
Thank you, sir. And before we close, I would like to remind our participants that we will be again back next week. On next Friday, we have another interesting talk that is from next Friday, 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock. It is none other than our mentor guru, senior Professor Anantha Krishnan, Emeritus Professor of Surgery from Balaji Vidyapith, the former HOD of Surgery from JIPMER. He is going to be talking about how to teach and assess residents' clinical skills. So I think that's a very relevant topic and pertinent to the current generation of teachers. So I hope that you would be able to join us for the next session. That would be on 13th of November, 2:45 p.m. Till then, we will take goodbye from you. I hope you all stay safe during this time and engage productively in your activities. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All the best.
Bye.
Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all.
चलिए यही था confidential हाँ